In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on February 18, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best bet single picks, best bet parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Duke versus Syracuse. It's Saturday, which means we've got another massive college basketball slate to look forward to. Among the many interesting matchups is this showdown between 2 iconic programs in the Atlantic Coast Conference, as the Syracuse Orange get ready to host the Duke Blue Devils. These teams are currently tied in the conference standings with only a handful of games left to play, so it should be a good one. Syracuse is 14-9-3 against the spread this season, with a 15-11 over-under record. Duke is 9-17 against the spread this year, with a 9-16-1 over-under record. The Orange have been coming on strong lately, having won 3 games in a row entering this one, most recently toppling a ranked NC State team. Duke is a really young team that is inconsistent at best, and they've really struggled on the road this year, so I couldn't even consider laying points with them on the road here. The Blue Devils have lost 4 of their past 5 games away from home, and they've lost 2 of their past 3 overall, with the only win in that span coming by just 4 points at home against lowly Notre Dame. Duke's leading scorer is Kyle Filipowski, and just 2 games ago he was held scoreless. The freshman is going to struggle with elite shot blocker Jesse Edwards in the post here, so the Syracuse Orange to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Duke does not play fast. In fact, the Blue Devils are in the bottom 3 of the Atlantic Coast Conference in adjusted tempo and average possession length according to Ken Palm, and rank outside the top 300 in percentage of total field goal attempts in transition per hoop math. They are not a great shooting team, so a majority of their points are scored around the rim, where they are not very efficient. Syracuse's zone defense forces opposition into jump shots and yields one of the lowest rim rates in the country, so Duke may struggle offensively for stretches of this game, considering it ranks in just the 31st percentile in jump shots according to Synergy. With Judementz's speed and athleticism, Syracuse is likely to push the ball up the floor more quickly than Duke. However, the Orange do not play fast enough to be considered an up-tempo team. Outside of Joe Girard, they are not much of a perimeter team either, as they rank last in the Atlantic Coast Conference and 340th nationally in three-point rate. The Blue Devils have a strong perimeter defense with guards Jeremy Roach and Tyrese Proctor, who defend jump shots very well, so Girard is unlikely to get many open looks from the perimeter. This game projects to be played at a below-average pace with little reliance on the three-point line. Furthermore, both teams defend well in the half court without fouling, so there should not be an abundance of free throws on Saturday evening. Typically, this matchup is a high-scoring affair with electric offenses that can light it up from the perimeter, but this installment of Duke versus Syracuse feels like the opposite. Expect this to be a low-scoring, defensive battle. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical versus Missouri. A pair of teams from the Southeastern Conference take the floor looking to pick up a victory down in the Show Me State. The Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Aggies are on the road as they make the trip to take on the Missouri Tigers Saturday evening. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical beat Arkansas 62-56 at home Wednesday night in their last game, covering as a 4-point favorite. Missouri was trounced 89-56 on the road by Auburn in their previous game Tuesday night, failing to cover the line as a 7-point underdog. In the all-time series between the teams, the Aggies own a 23-20 advantage, including an 82-64 home win in the first matchup this season on January 11th. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical is 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 road games and 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games. The over is 20-8 in Texas Agricultural and Mechanical's last 28 road games. Missouri is 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 games and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games against a team with a winning road record. The over is 9-2 in Missouri's last 11 home games. The underdog is 6-2 against the spread in these 2 teams' last 8 head-to-head meetings. meetings. The Texas Aggies made light work of Missouri when they played them in College Station last month, beating them 82-64. It was their 12th straight-up win in the last 16 games against Missouri. Another intriguing trend, the Texas Aggies are 6-1 straight up in their last 7 road games against Missouri. It's been pure domination in this series, so clearly no one is afraid of the atmosphere in Columbia. The environment shouldn't impact the 22nd ranked offense, which averages 115 points per 100 possessions. This is a solid Tigers team that may not be on the same win-loss level as the Texas Aggies, but they've been rock solid at home with their lone losses at home coming to Kansas and Alabama. The Texas Aggies is the far better rebounding team and should feast inside. But rebounds aren't counted on the scoreboard and Missouri can light it up offensively at home. I believe that the Aggies offense will hold up on the road, so the Texas Aggies to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. These are two of the most dynamic offenses in the country, each ranking inside the top 25 in terms of offensive efficiency. Missouri brings in the 6th best offense, scoring 120 points per 100 possessions. As for Texas Agricultural and Mechanical, they're 22nd. To further elaborate on my point above about the Aggies offense traveling well, it's worth mentioning that Missouri is 219th in defensive efficiency, allowing 107 points per 100 possessions. In terms of defensive shooting, the Tigers are 209th, letting opponents hit 44.6% of their shots. Finally, it's worth mentioning that Missouri loves to play in higher-scoring games. They're 15-11 to the over this season, including a 4-2 run to the over in their last 6 conference games. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Gonzaga versus Pepperdine. The West Coast Conference will be in action on Saturday as the Gonzaga Bulldogs hit the road to take on the Pepperdine Waves. Gonzaga is once again among the better teams in the country with an overall record of 21-5 and 10-2 in West Coast Conference play. It has been a difficult year for Pepperdine this season with an overall record of 9-18 and a conference record of just 2-11. Well, there's no question of whether or not Gonzaga will get the straight-up win in this one. It'd be a miracle if Pepperdine pulls off the upset. Gonzaga is coming off of a 43-point win over Loyola Marymount, a game where they shot 60.6% from the field and 47.1% from deep. They're red hot right now. Look for the offense to carry over against a Pepperdine team that's 285th in defensive shooting, allowing opponents to hit 45.8% of their shots. In terms of efficiency, the Waves are 191st, surrendering 106 points per 100 possessions. Ultimately, Gonzaga's offense is top-notch, and they should have no issue stretching this lead out and covering the line. So the Gonzaga Bulldogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. There is going to be zero defense played in this game. For starters, Pepperdine is one of the fastest teams in the country, averaging 72.5 possessions per 40 minutes. The Zags also like to push the pace, using 70.6 possessions per 40 minutes. This should be a higher-paced game with two defenses that are far from dominant. While I touched on Pepperdine's defense above, it's worth mentioning that Gonzaga's 236th in defensive shooting allowed opponents to hit 45% of their shots. Gonzaga is averaging 87 points per game, and they are going to have no issue running up the score against a Pepperdine team that gave up 88 points in the last game. Pepperdine is going to find offensive success also against the Gonzaga defense. From a trends perspective, the over is 5-2 in Gonzaga's last 7 conference games. The over has also cashed in 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two sides. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.